Hello and welcome to FPL Natty. Back again for my team selection for game week number 21. Game week 20 is now behind us and we can look forward to game week 21. Okay, so I am ready. I want to let you know how my team did last week in the double game week. I did okay. Just a heads up, I did okay. So does that mean a red flag or a green flag? Does that mean a red arrow or a green arrow? Let's find out. You guys already know what to do for this channel. If you haven't already, subscribe, press that thumbs up button, and if you don't like this video, press that thumbs down button, press it twice, and that works for you guys perfectly. Comment, let me know what points you got for game week number 20, and let's find out what my team is going to be for game week number 21. Let's go. Okay, so have a look there. That is a big, actually I'm lying, that is a small green arrow that I got. It was a 2.22% green arrow. That's about 35,000 places, so that now makes me only 136 points off of the top 10k. So it's only a small little margin that I'm still needing to get into that top 10k. As you can see there, overall points 1134, but for this game week in particular, game week number 20, so as you can see I got 77 points, but I also took a -8 hit for that, so that gave me a score of 69, and that is like 2 weeks in a row now I've got 69. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, 69 points I've got for game week number 20. So all in all, it wasn't too bad, but I'm just grateful that I got a green arrow, to be honest, because how it was looking, yeah, let's just go through it anyway. So with Ward and Kepper, for example, that was who I was really battling, who I was going to put in, whether it's going to be Ward or Kepper. I actually went with Ward, which as we can see was totally the wrong choice, and Kepper on my bench got me 10 points, which that was no use to me, to be honest. But yeah, Ward only gave me 2 in the end. Trippier, he is a bonus points magnet at the minute. He got 3 bonus points against that game versus Fulham, and a clean sheet as well, so that was good. Shaw, he had a difficult double game week, as we know, but he was on one of the most brought in players for game week number 20. I think over 400,000 of you guys brought him in. But again, 2 tough fixtures, one against City, which they won, but the clean sheet was gone, and he almost got a clean sheet against Crystal Palace, but Crystal Palace, I think it was Eze, scored in the 91st minute, so that one went away. So yeah, he only got me what, 4 points over 2 games, so it wasn't amazing from him. Ben White, so glad I went with him. I didn't really have much option, to be honest, because before game week 20 started, I did say that John Stones, well, Pep said that John Stones wasn't going to play, so then it automatically meant I was going to bring in White for that North London derby. I didn't think he was going to do that well, to be honest, but look, he got me 8 points, so I'm glad I went with my gut, and it made Arsenal stretch their lead to the top of the Premier League. The question is, can they keep that up? I am not so sure. My Arsenal friends are getting pretty gassed in our WhatsApp group at the minute, but yeah, I don't think that's going to last. I think they're going to slide down that pole pretty fast. Kulachevsky, he was my great differential for game week number 20. I'm very happy about that. He did play both matches. The North London derby didn't do much in, but I think he was one of the keys that helped me get my green arrow, because he scored in the game against City and got 2 bonus points as well. So I'm pretty happy about that. One person who did flop, who I was really banking on getting some points in this double game week, was Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah, I think he was the biggest flop of my week. Missed the second game completely. 5 points from 2 games. Yeah, I wasn't too happy about that. But we move on to Marcus Rashford. He done well. Fantastic form that he's continuing. And I think that's reflected in his ownership, to be honest. I think it's got 45% plus ownership right now. And with 3 bonus points in the City game, he was looking on fire. A bit leggy in the Crystal Palace game, but that's to be expected because he does like to run full throttle, basically. So I'm hoping that Ten Hag, if he can, maybe rest him, but I'm really not too sure about that. So moving on to my forwards, you can see 2 there that done alright and 1 that did terrible. Let's talk about one that did terrible first of all, and that is Martial. And there's a reason why currently now he's only 3.6% owned, and that's because he's made of glass. You might think that Ten Hag is resting him, but to be honest, he's just injured all the time. That is the real reason why, yeah, he's hardly owned. I was excited when he came back from, after the World Cup and Martial didn't go and he had time to prepare, time away to kind of get his fitness back up again. But he looks like he's injured yet again, so he can't be trusted in this team. He only got 1 point from 2 fixtures. He didn't come on at all in the Crystal Palace game. Came on at half time in the City game. He's just a poor player to have for FPL. I do like him as a Man United fan, but just as an FPL asset, I don't think he's good enough. So he has to go soon. Harry Kane, he was my captain for this game week, and he didn't score. He literally blanked in terms of scoring, but he did manage to get assist in the City game, so that was all he got really. But I will keep on to him purely because of who he's got next. He's got Fulham, City, and also Leicester next. So hopefully in that return fixture against City, he can do something at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And last but not least, we'll talk about Erling Haaland. I was really worried about him because I didn't triple captain him like so many of you guys did, and I thought it was the right option after the first game, but then once he scored that header against Spurs, I realised that that was a slightly poor decision on my part. I know that if I triple captained him, I would have got an even bigger green arrow, so I know I missed out on some points there. But there is a good factor in that, is because I still get to keep my triple captain chip for another time when possibly he has an even better fixture list. So let's see from that. But yeah, the gap did widen a little bit in some of my mini leagues. But let's see how it goes. He didn't get a bonus point this week, so I'm happy in that sense. So with him, I only got 8 points. And on the bench there, as you can see, Kepa, as I spoke about, got 10 points. Yeah, I think now I can see that Ward has some competition in my team, so I need to flip between the two as to what fixtures I can get the best points for my goalkeeper, because Kepa basically gets save points, to be honest, so it kind of might make sense to bring him in. Andreas, he had a quiet game against Newcastle, but he might be on penalties going forwards as Mitrovic missed yet another penalty, and we know Andreas is the backup for Mitrovic when it comes to penalties for the Fulham team. So let's see what happens with there. I spoke about John Stones already. I was meant to have him in. That's why I brought him in. One of my -8 hits was for John Stones. He only played 1 game, so he was on my bench. He did come on for the Spurs game, but that clean sheet was gone in the first half when they were 2-0 down. So yeah, I'm not too fussed about that. Him only getting a 1-pointer. And Patterson, yeah, it's just Patterson. As you can see, he's red flags. He's going to be out for some time, but I'm not too worried about him. I'll just leave him. I'll just leave him on the bench. So let's have a look at what I'm going to do for game week number 21 and what my team is going to look like, possibly. So I'm thinking to bring in Kepa this week for Ward. I am banking on not only just save points, but even possibly a clean sheet for Kepa and basically a win for Chelsea at Anfield. Virgil van Dijk is still out at the minute. We know that Liverpool are very shaky at the back, so I think that this could be a good turn, not even a good turn, a good time, and a good turn for Kepa in my team, but a good time to bring Kepa in for Ward, even though Leicester are at home, I believe, to Brighton. I think that this game might offer up some more points potential for Kepa in my squad. I've gone with a back four this game week, and that is of Trippier, Shaw, White and Stones. So with Trippier, he's kept 5 clean sheets out of 5 matches, and we know how good he is in an attacking sense. I think he's in the top 3 for points overall out of the whole FPL. So he is just the guy to have in your team. No one's going to take him out. I'm not going to take him out. He is a possible option for a captaincy if you really want to go differential. But can you go against the perma captain option that is Erling Haaland? I'm not so sure. I don't think I'll be doing that either. So yeah, he would just be in my squad just because he's not going to move from there. Alongside him is Luke Shaw. He's got a tough fixture against Arsenal. Arsenal are looking very, very strong. They have been boosted by some of the players that they're bringing in the January window. They've got a new defender. They've also got Trossard, so they're even looking even stronger. And we know that Casemiro won't be playing to protect that back four for this game. So I do wonder what Ten Hag is going to do in this fixture, because yeah, we need to close the gaps in terms of Man United. We need to close the gap on Arsenal, but Arsenal again looking to extend their lead against the top 4 side, because City is chasing and breathing down their necks. So let's see if the clean sheet still stands in this game. I don't know. We'll have to just play that one by ear. And alongside him is Ben White. he's like a steady Eddie in the Arsenal defense. He doesn't really move from the defense. Arteta absolutely loves him in there. So it only takes one mistake though for Arsenal not to get a clean sheet. And with Ben White, we know that he doesn't produce any attacking returns. So that is something to watch out for going forwards. But he's such a cheap price. I think I'm not going to be removing him from my squad anytime soon. So Ben White stays there. And then the last place I've got in defense is John Stones. And I think alongside Akanji, he's one of the best centre backs that City do have. They do have Diaz, Laporte, who else? And Ake as well. But I think Stones is the best one they have. He's been there, what, 6 years, I believe. So he knows the team inside out. He knows the way Pep wants it to play. And just generally, he's good on the ball. He's strong. He's good in the air as well. Has an attacking threat just about, but I'm not really worried about that for this game. It is against Wolves at home, and I'm expecting John Stones to give me a clean sheet here. Pep said that he wants the whole team in general to raise their levels, so yeah, I think he's going to be back and he will produce me at least 6 points. Guaranteed at least 6 points. In midfield, I've gone with 4 in midfield. Let's start with Kulusevski. When he's fit, as you saw in the City game, they look so much better when he plays on that right-hand side. He drives forward, he goes against defenders. Defenders, hate players with technical skill that go against him. So I am happy with him. He got a goal against City that we saw, and that was the 12 points he got me last week. So with that confidence boost that he has, I'm hoping it's a sign of things to come following that long injury layoff that he has had. So yeah, I think Kulusevski is a great option if you haven't got him already, around about the 8 million mark. So he's not too pricey, basically. If you're looking to maybe downgrade from another type of player, or just want a differential in general, Kulusevski is your guy. KDB is next to him, and let's hope that Pep Roulette doesn't strike twice. Lightning does. Even Lightning doesn't do that. So let's hope that Pep Roulette doesn't strike twice, and KDB stays in the team. He's going to stay in my squad anyway, and is a potential captaincy option. Okay, so the last game that Wolves had, well, City had against Wolves, he got 24 points because he got 2 assists in that game. And we know his XA is so high, that is his expected assist, and that is 9.58. He is that guy that just pulls the strings in that City midfield, can find Haaland in any way. He can find Alvarez, he can find Mahrez, he can score from outside the box. Not inside the box, basically outside the box. Yeah, he's staying in my squad, but let's just hope and pray that Pep Roulette does not strike twice. Almiron is my next player that I'm keeping in there, and I'm hoping he produces a return against the Palace side that should be quite G'd up after their points, the late draw they got against Man United midweek. But it is Newcastle. Newcastle are a strong side, either home or away. And Almiron, I know that he's going to be looking to get some returns after his fantastic run of form so far. And with the games he's got, so after this game, after Crystal Palace, he has West Ham and Bournemouth. So he's a definite hold for me. But if you're looking to replace him, you might look at some Brighton players like Mitoma or Solly March as well. But Brighton are looking so good right now. But in terms to Almiron, I'm going to keep him. He's done well for me, and as I said, he's got some good games coming up, so I will keep him in my squad. And alongside him, this guy's not going anywhere. You know who it is Marcus Rashford, one of the most informed players in the league. In all competitions, he has scored 7 in 7 games and has the second most points since the World Cup restart. So it just makes sense that Rashford is not going anywhere. You could even potentially captain him, to be honest. Over 190,000 FPL managers have brought him in for this game week. It is a very difficult game, you might think so on paper, but Rashford does have history for scoring against Arsenal. The last game that they played in September, Rashford scored 2 goals. He got a brace against them, and he can do it again. I know the Arsenal defense will be worried about Rashford running in behind specifically, so that is something that they need to be wary of. But I'm hoping for an Arsenal win here, and I hope Rashford brings in some key returns. So moving on to my forwards, and I've gone with 2 up front, and that is Erling Haaland and Harry Kane. So let's talk about Harry Kane. Spurs are away to Fulham. And again, this guy has only blanked, 5 times out of the whole season. So he is in the conversation to be a captain for this game week. You need to back him if you haven't backed him already. You need to own him if you don't own him already. He might be expensive, or what they call like a premium asset. But look what Kane does. He either scores or assists most game weeks. Okay, and only Haaland and Trippier have more points than him, and I have those other two players already. So if you've already got those other two players, why not get another player who also produces so much points? He has scored in 5 of his last 7 games against Fulham, so it's a team he likes to score against. So if you don't have him already, bring in Harry Kane, and potentially you could even captain him if you don't want to captain this next guy. And that next guy is, as you know, Erling Haaland. To be honest, I need to be honest with you, he's going to be my captain. I'm just going to tell you straight off the bat. I'm going to captain Erling Haaland. I think it's those times when we used to always captain Salah, for the last 3 seasons, Salah was the go-to guy. I think it's just too risky not to captain Haaland unless he's injured, or you think that there's a potential of him being dropped because of like Champions League games, things like that. But I don't think Pep is going to risk it purely because Alvarez, although he's good, he's not Erling Haaland. Yeah, Haaland is going to be everywhere in the box, good in the air, good with both feet, strong, quick, knows where the goal is. It just makes sense to go with him. Now, I was looking at some stats from the Fantasy Football Pundit, and they said that anytime goal for Erling Haaland is at 67%, and at any time return, whether that's assist or a goal, is at 76%. That is super high, and that is also backed up by more than 90% of the top 10k, the top 1k, and the top 100 have selected Erling Haaland as their captaincy pick so far. So those things cement the fact that he is a strong, and when I mean strong, I mean the top captaincy pick for game week number 21. In the last game where City played Wolves, he scored where City won 3-0. So yeah, he's going to be not only my captain, but he's not going to be removed from my squad. And as you can see, guys, I am not making a transfer this game week. There are no new players in my team. Now that is, at the time you're seeing this, that might change because I'm thinking of getting rid of Martial. Okay, he needs to go. So I'm thinking about possibly moving him on for Tony. That is an option for me. I also wanted to bring in Odegaard. I'm wrangling with that, so yeah, just bear that one in mind. But yeah, at the moment, I'm not looking to make a transfer this week. I'm looking to roll my transfers. I think there's some double game weeks coming, and I want to just minimize the points that I've been taking, particularly after last week where I took like a -8. I think it's time to just back off a little bit, reassess my team. I might bring in some Brighton players next week. I will just see how that one goes. As you can see from my bench, I spoke about Ward already. Even though Leicester are at home, Brighton, I think, are a massive threat. They are doing so well under the new manager. Andreas, yes, he is a good player and might be on pens, but I am not looking to bring him in against who they got. Spurs. Yeah, I think Spurs are going to be looking to bounce back from their loss to City. I'm not going to bring him in. Who else do I have there? I'm not even looking. Martial, he's definitely not coming in my squad. I say he's probably going to be gone by the time my team is finalised. And obviously Patterson is there just... I don't know why Patterson is there. Yeah, so that is how my team is looking so far for game week number 21. As I said, currently my captaincy will be on Erling Haaland. I don't think I'm going to change that. It is against Wolves. It's at the Etihad, so kind of a no-brainer for me. Yeah, so what do you think of my team? Write in the comments below. Obviously, you can only comment if you subscribe. So yeah, just do that, and then you can comment on my video. So there it is. My game week 21 team currently doesn't have any transfers. I'm literally rolling a transfer into game week number 22, and I'm just following the crowd. I'm being a sheep, and I'm going to captain Erling Haaland. I will not make that mistake. Well, I will try to not make that mistake again. If he does come out at any point during this season, I think it's going to be very interesting to see who you guys pick as captain. There's so many other options that people can go for. I do wonder what people would choose, or who people would choose if Erling Haaland wasn't an option. but he is an option, and therefore I will be going with him. So currently a 4-4-2 formation. I possibly will be taking out Anthony Martial because the price of him is going to plummet, I believe, particularly if he's a no-show for this game week. And just in general, he is such a minutes risk, barely plays 60 minutes the games that he has been playing, and he hasn't been scoring. It's been Rashford that's been doing all the legwork, and they got Wout Weghorst has come into Man United, so I think he's going to be taking more of a role in that team, even though he's nowhere as good as Rashford, and not Rashford, as Martial, and it's a lot slower. There's nothing really they can do. Man United are not going to buy another striker right now, so I think I'm going to stay away from Martial for the time being and look to bring in some players that do actually play, a Mitrovic, even an Alvarez if I'm going to swap out another City player possibly. Who else is up there? Darwin? Nah, he's injured. I ain't bringing him back. I'm going to see what I'm going to do about Martial. I think that is the key thing there. I really am unsure about whether I'm not going to bring in Tony or another player, possibly a midfielder, to add a differential player to my team, just to boost where I am and hopefully capitalize on some returns for this game week and some ones coming. So yeah, so guys, let me know what you think of my team selections so far. Is there any changes that you would have made in your team? Write in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, and as you already know, if you haven't already signed up to my mini league, we're still like halfway through, just press the auto join link in the description below. It's literally right there. And as you know, if you don't know, I am also on TikTok as well, so come follow me over there. I'm really just trying to grow all my socials this year, first time doing this, so show it some love. I thank you so much if you are already watching this video. If you're here for the first time, love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.